Have you ever trusted someone so completely, only to realize, too late, that they were using you the whole time? Ethan had that feeling the day his world was ripped apart by betrayal. Betrayal from someone he'd called a friend, someone he thought had his back, but what happened next was something no one saw coming. I'm Ethan, 31 years old, just a regular guy trying to get by. I work as a project manager for a small construction firm here in Orlando, Florida. Every morning, I wake up to the smell of fresh coffee brewing, the faint hum of my car engine as I drive into the city, the weight of the day's responsibilities pressing down on me before I even step into the office. It's the kind of life that feels mundane, but I find comfort in the routine. I've worked hard for everything I have, and for the most part, I'm content. But there's always this lingering tension in the back of my mind, a whisper I can't ignore. Things with my colleague, Samson, had been off for weeks. We used to be close. He was the guy I shared lunch breaks with, the one I'd vent to about the stress of the job. Lately, though, he's been acting distant. It's like he has this secret he's keeping from me. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew something was coming, and when it did, it would change everything. It all came to light one morning when I found a series of emails on the office server, emails that I shouldn't have been able to access but did. Samson had been sabotaging my work, taking credit for my ideas, and worse, he'd been passing off my plans as his own to our clients. I spent years proving myself, sacrificing countless hours, even missing out on time with my family to make sure everything went smoothly. And this is how he repaid me? Samson's entitled attitude, thinking he was better than everyone, had always been apparent. He'd often talk about how much he deserved a promotion, how much he was owed, but to find out he was stealing my work, undermining me like this, it crushed me. I remember staring at that screen, the words on the email almost blurred together as the weight of it all hit me, the smell of burnt coffee wafting from the break room, the ringing in my ears grew louder as I realized what he had done. I felt betrayed, exposed, like everything I'd worked for was slipping away, and Samson didn't even seem to care. I confronted him that afternoon. The office was empty. The only sound was the faint hum of the AC as I walked into his office. His face didn't even change when I told him I knew everything. There was no guilt, no remorse, just indifference. "You don't get it, Ethan," he said, leaning back in his chair, a smug smile spreading across his face. "It's nothing personal. I did what I had to do. You were never going to get ahead. Man, you're too slow. I'm doing you a favor." I could feel the blood rush to my head, my fists clenched at my sides. "You think this is a favor? You've been destroying everything I've worked for. You've taken what's mine." His laugh, cold and sharp, echoed in the sterile office. "Get over it, Ethan. It's just business. You'll understand one day." That was it. In that moment, everything in me snapped. Samson was no longer the guy I'd trusted. He was just a man who'd turned my life upside down for his own gain. I turned and walked away, not showing him how much he'd hurt me, but the damage was done, and I knew I wouldn't let it go. I wasn't going to let Samson get away with this. I couldn't. My career, my integrity, everything I had was on the line, so I took action. I gathered every shred of evidence, every email, every witness who had seen Samson's lies firsthand. I started preparing for the trial that would expose him for the fraud he truly was. It wasn't going to be easy. I knew he'd fight back, maybe even try to turn things against me, but I had something he didn't, proof, and I was determined to use it. The days leading up to the trial were filled with sleepless nights, the soft rustle of papers as I went through the evidence, the quiet hum of my computer as I compiled everything. My hands would shake at times, but I knew this was the only way. The day of the trial came, and I walked into that courtroom alone, not a single friend by my side, just the weight of the truth. I could feel Samson's presence the moment he stepped in, his usual arrogance now replaced with palpable fear. His phone buzzed nonstop, texts from him lighting up my screen. "Ethan, please, we can fix this. I'll make it right." But I didn't reply. I couldn't. His words meant nothing now. He tried to negotiate, even offering a settlement, but I knew what I had to do. I had already made up my mind. He was going to pay for his lies. Just as the trial seemed to be going Samson's way, with his lawyer weaving a tale of half-truths, the courtroom doors opened. A woman stepped in, her face pale, eyes wide with desperation. "That boy is my husband," she cried. The room fell silent. Samson froze, and I could see the color drain from his face. The woman was his wife, and she wasn't there to support him. She was there to expose him. She had known everything, how he had used his position to funnel company money, how he'd been lying to everyone, including her. The courtroom erupted in whispers. Samson's public humiliation was complete, and the case? It was over. Samson was finished. In the weeks that followed, Samson's life unraveled. His career was destroyed, his reputation shattered. I couldn't say I felt sorry for him. He'd earned this downfall. But for me, there was no satisfaction in seeing him suffer. Instead, I felt peace. I'd stood up for myself, for what was right. I wasn't the same guy I was before all this. I'd learned that betrayal doesn't have to define you. You can rise above it, even when it feels like the world is turning against you. Now, when I wake up in the morning, I no longer feel the weight of Samson's betrayal. The air is fresher, the world brighter. I've found peace in knowing that, no matter what happens, I can trust myself. If you've ever faced a betrayal, or fought back against the odds, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story, and don't forget to subscribe, because the best stories are the ones we share together.